let's talk about how to uncover your soul purpose. So, I find many people get stuck on the difference between purpose, life purpose, and soul purpose. And I'd love to chat with you about this today in order to help you get more in touch with these things, as well as to clear what's stopping you from more deeply connecting with and living in alignment with your purpose. I'm Christelle Arcucci, the founder of the Soul Purpose Network, and I support you to clear what blocks you from standing in the way of embodying and monetizing your purpose. So let's get right into the focus for today. So, the first thing I want to start with is the distinction between purpose, life purpose, and soul purpose. On some level, they are variations of the same thing. And the way that I look at it is your soul purpose is like the big picture view of the core of what you are here to do as a soul, why you chose to become embodied as a human, and the thing that you are committed to do over and over and over again, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Your life purpose is a version of that, like it's one step or another layer closer to embodiment, and it is what you are committed to do in this lifetime. And to me, when we look at these big picture questions, I don't see as like I was meant to work at this specific company as your life purpose. That might be an expression of your life purpose, like the focus of what you're here to do, and your life purpose has taken you to a certain company or had you born into a certain family or these kinds of things. Like life purpose in general is a bigger picture, but not as big as the soul purpose, right? The soul purpose is the overarching view of many lifetimes. Life purpose brings it down into this lifetime, and they both evolve over time as the expression of it. It isn't like, oh, I was meant to do this thing and then it's over. Like for me, there was a period of my life when I was focused on doing primarily one-on-one, hands-on, in-person healing work, and that was the expression of my soul purpose and my life purpose at that time. Then there came a point in time when I got kind of bored with it. And I was like, why aren't I happy? I get to do this amazing work. I get to help people. This is amazing. Why am I bored? Because I had learned the lessons I had learned from that expression of my life purpose. And then it was time to go on to the next expression of it. So all of these things are not static, fixed, done deal. Right? I mean, I think our soul purpose is clear, and it is an essence. It's more of a big picture thing rather than I'm meant to do this exact thing. I'm meant to have these specific children. Like if your thing is your soul purpose is to bring new life into the world through having children, okay. And I don't think it gets so specific as to like what ages they are and when they're going to be born and what their names are going to be and what their sexes are, right? That it's there's a lot of room for flexibility because I think we are creating our experience and we have many choices throughout the day that can change the direction of not only our days, weeks, months, years, or life. All right. So then bringing it down into purpose. So to me, this is like a step down from infinity into deeper and deeper levels of manifestation. Like to me, purpose is the most grounded of all of them in experience, partly because it becomes that much more available. That it's like, what is my purpose for getting out of bed? What is my purpose through for this week? What is my purpose in my family? I find that people are more, it's easier to get connected into purpose in smaller projects. So I like to work with it in this way, that purpose is looking at smaller chunks of time, smaller projects. What is my purpose in this project? What is my purpose for the rest of 2017? What is my purpose in this relationship? What is my purpose? So that it's a clear container that is generally easier to access for people. Then as we go into life purpose, that can feel overwhelming. What is my life purpose? What if I don't know? What if I never know? That it can feel really overwhelming. So if that is true for you, then I encourage you to stick with working with smaller periods of time. And as you get more clear, it will become the bigger picture view, the life purpose and the soul purpose will become more clear to you. And if they don't, if you continue to relate to simply the word purpose, go with what works for you. All right. So with that piece covered, then I want to look at the components of getting clear on a bigger picture view of your purpose. And as we go forward, I'm going to speak about a soul purpose, yet if you relate more towards the life purpose or simply purpose, please replace my words with what your focus is. So there's 4 components that I work with in working with clients is in getting clear on what their purpose is. Their passions, the things that light you up, the things that you could do endlessly and time passes so effortlessly. Like you could do this all the time. Well, you could do this a lot of the time and find a lot of enjoyment and fulfillment from it. It's good to make a list of your passions and include all of the ones personal and professional, because I think our personal passions are important, that we find a way to have expression of those in either our business, career, or life, however, whatever you're applying this to. Then we look at your training and experience. So this can be professional training. It can be traditional, schooling, university, graduate school, those kinds of things. It can also be career training. It can also be on-the-job training and your experience, because there's the training education part of it. And then there's also your experiences. What have you done in your life that informs who you are and the gifts and talents that you have? Like for me, I don't have professional training in technology, meaning like running software or building websites or graphic design. I don't have professional training in any of those things, yet I have a natural talent for them. I use them in my business, that I'm interested in learning new technology and learning how to build websites and learning how to do basic graphic design. And I do all of those things in my business. So it's something that I have experience in. I'm basically like educated on YouTube, right? I just watch YouTube videos or go into the different software systems that I have to use to run my business, and I learn from experience. So that's one example of that. So then life challenges. Life challenges are a huge part of knowing what your purpose is, because those are the things that we have overcome in our life that inform the choices that we make. And so this part of it, life challenges, I like to call your hero's journey or your heroine's journey, which is not only the challenges, but also the life-changing events. So some life-changing events can be amazing, inspiring. Like for me, when my younger sister, after she was born and they brought her home from the hospital, and the first time I got to hold her was a life-changing moment. It was also a really happy moment. So in the hero's journey, heroine's journey part of this, you're looking at the challenges you faced and overcome, as well as the highlights and the amazing moments in your life as well. Then your natural talents, the things that you are naturally good at and most often take for granted. And you're like, yeah, so what? Anyone can do that. So for me, in my healing arts business, I have a natural business savvy. I've been, I call myself a kidpreneur. When I was young, I was naturally interested in doing business and making money and didn't have issues selling. I had a natural talent for being able to communicate what I do. And for a lot of years, I didn't have training in these things. I do now, but I had a natural talent for it. And then people would ask me, other healers or yoga teachers would ask, hey, how are you doing this? How are you running your business? I was like, whatever, anyone can do it. And I just took it for granted. I thought it was no big deal. Then I began to recognize that for me, that right brain, left brain, the healer and the strategist were an unusual combination, that people often are dominant in one or the other. So if you look at right brain being the more creative, intuitive, healing side, the left brain being more strategy, logic, systems. And people are generally dominant in one or the other. You can also develop the skills in the other side. From my perspective, I have more of a integrated, like I'm interested and good at doing both sides of that. Am I good at everything? No, absolutely not. But that is part of my natural talent, is that integration of creativity and creating structure for that creativity. So as we look at things, one thing that's happened for me in just the last few months is that I have a business that fulfills these different components. Yet I've been in a place of transition in my business, especially in the last year, as things have changed a lot in the United States and globally. It has caused me to look more deeply at my business and what I am doing in my business, and is it fulfilling my purpose in the most potent way possible. Then in this dark night of the soul for myself, I began looking really closely at the business that I had built and the ways in which it is serving me, and in other ways in which I feel like I could be doing something differently, something better for myself and our community. So then I started looking at what I'm really good at. So, and some of the things that I was trying to do that I'm not good at, as well as they don't excite me. It feels like a burden. So in this transition of really looking at what I'm good at, I'm really good at ideas and starting projects and getting clear on how the project connects into the big picture. Meaning, if you create this workshop, how does it connect into the big picture of your business? Does it fit in the components instead of just building random things that don't fit together? That means you have to, build this thing and then build this thing and build this thing. And then you have to have the energy to keep all of those things spinning, which for most people is less than ideal. So one of my natural talents is being able to see how one creative project fits into the big picture. So one of the changes that I made in my own business is seeing that I like creating short-term creative projects. Yay! Because I'm an idea person. I literally have notebooks full of ideas. So one of the ways in the last few years that I've been engaging that creative muse part of me is by supporting others in their business. And then I would be like, oh, this creative idea is for that client. And then I help them implement it in their business, but I'm not solely responsible for the implementation. So that was one way that I began shifting my business. Yet there was I just still have this huge backlog of creative ideas. So then in the last 6 months, I've really seen how in shifting my own business to focus on connecting with other entrepreneurs, because connection is a huge core value for me, then highlighting their expertise, which is also something I'm really excited about, helping them clarify what their expertise is, highlighting them, also supporting women and sharing their stories. And that is women who are entrepreneurs, career women, or women who like sharing stories. So I definitely have found women like sharing stories. So finding the way that all of these things fit together has come together in my business as a way of now I'm working on these collaboration book projects where I'm interviewing people. So I have that built-in connection factor. I'm helping others. I'm contributing to the conversation, as well as I'm bringing resources in from all different places and bringing them into a clear container of creative expression. So I share that with you because it highlights the last point that I want to focus on today is you can have all four of those things that I spoke about, which are passion, training and experience, your hero's journey or heroine's journey, and your natural talents which connect to a need in the marketplace if you're doing this in your business. But then we also have to look at the shoulds and the blocks that are keeping us from going to the next level in the expression of our purpose, life purpose, soul purpose. And for me, I had hit a wall in the expansion of my purpose. And that's when I took this look at my business to go, okay, well, what things am I doing that aren't working? What things am I not doing that I really want to be doing? And what things are blocking me? So that is how things have incredibly shifted. And now there's a new sense of ease and excitement in my business, as well as being like, okay, these short-term projects, which right now are going to be about 6 months. Once I get all the systems up and going, it might be quicker, it might be 3 months, but for this first round, it's about 6 months to be in production and all of the interviews and to write the book, produce the book, publish the book, which is a collaboration of a lot of women in our community. So clearing the blocks that are standing in the way, clearing the shoulds, and then also seeing what I'm not doing that I want to be doing. Or, of course, this goes for you. So if you would like to go deeper into this topic, I'm super excited that I have an upcoming masterclass that I would like to invite you to. That is called Unlock Your Pleasurable Soul Purpose. And that's the key in this, is that once you are more clear on your purpose, life purpose, and soul purpose, how can you do that in a way that feels good? So join me for this upcoming training. You can go to sacredbodyrichllife.com to register, and that is in the comments below as well. Feel free to ask questions about what I have shared with you today. Also, I would love to know what your purpose is. And put before it purpose, life purpose, or soul purpose, depending upon which one you relate most to. All right, I am Christelle Arcucci signing off, and I look forward to seeing you soon.